kgs, or 81.5 pounds more available amino acids. At $1.13 a pound for lysine, that equals $92 minimum extra value in cold pressed meal per metric ton. This trial again was done at the University of Saskatchewan. It measures the digestibility of amino acids before and after toasting. As you can see, once the toasting took place, the digestibility dropped off critically. Polyoil can be made from vegetable oil, including canola oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil, by further processing. Polyoil usage in the U.S. is approximately 3 billion pounds per year, and worldwide polyoil usage is approximately 10.2 billion pounds per year. The market-based potential for bio-based polyoil in the U.S. is 700 to 900 pounds per year, and the global market potential for bio-based polyoils is 2.1 to 2.7 billion pounds per year. Polyoil can be used for many different types of substances. In fact, Cargill has just built the first full-scale polyoil manufacturing plant outside of Detroit and will be supplying all the foam rubber for all the Ford vehicles in the seats and the padded dashes. The upper left corner is a picture of a six-press site in Germany processing sunflower seeds. The oil is shipped next door, or pumped next door, and used to operate diesel engines operating electric generators. The electricity is sold to the grid, and the heat is sold to an office building down the road and supplies the heat for that building. The picture in the upper right is at Birch Meadows Colony near Eaglesham, Alberta, Canada. This picture was taken like one day before they got the press in operation. That was right before Christmas. The picture in the lower left is at Evergreen Colony near Taber, Alberta, Canada. They built this right into their machine shed. It's a very simple operation and works very well. The lower right picture is a picture at Dakota Lakes Research Farm with Ulrich Keller, owner of the KEK company, and Dr. Dwayne Beck doing research with the KEK press and cold pressed meal and oil. Dr. Dwayne Beck of Dakota Lakes Research Farm developed this revolutionary seeder to study and develop strategies to enhance crop production. He is able to show that crops can be grown successfully in areas where they were not feasible before. He is striving to develop energy independence for farmers. Dr. Beck understands that it is imperative to find the right and best use for the meal and oil. Using the oil as unrefined cold-pressed oil is its highest use. Refining the cold-pressed oil for human consumption is also good. Industrial uses from animal feed to polyol, which is plastic production, to environmental uses in forestry, well drilling, printer ink, and a host of other uses are also available. Unless the petroleum industry prices oil at its true cost, using biofuels will be valued lower than other uses of cold-pressed oils. As Dr. Beck said, the lowest value of a horse would be as a killer horse. Biofuels is a killer horse of cold-pressed oil. The P101 press will process 220 pounds of seed in 1 hour, or 924 tons of seed a year. It will produce 79.2 pounds of oil per hour, or 95,000 gallons per hour. The meal, it will produce 140.8 pounds in an hour, or 591 ton per year. The P500 will process 1,100 pounds of seed per hour. That equates 4,620 tons in 1 year's time. It will produce 396 pounds of oil per hour, or in a year's time, 475,200 gallons of oil. The meal will produce 704 pounds per hour, and over the same year's time, you will produce 2,965 tons of meal per year. The upper left picture is a picture of the P101 press producing oil. The upper middle picture is oil out of a press after being run through a decanter. The upper right picture shows cold pressed oil on the grocery store shelf and the cost, $9.79 for a 500 milliliter bottle. The lower left picture is of canola meal after running through the press and a small roller mill. The picture in the right is a P0020 press. It will process 44 pounds of seed per hour, 1,056 pounds of seed per day, and 184.8 tons per year. For oil, it will produce 15.84 pounds an hour, 54.3 gallons per day, and 19,008 gallons per year. In the meal department, it will produce 28.16 pounds of high-quality, high-fat oil meal per day. In each day, it will produce 0.338 tons, and for every year, it will produce 118.3 tons. This is one example of a 5-press site. It's in an orbiting mode where you can take a look at the facility from different angles. This is a hand-painted ostrich egg that I was given by some people in the Ukraine where I did some consulting work. I think it's very beautiful. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.